What's up, guys? It's Bones88 here, and we got a small but juicy February update coming out here very soon. Not sure when, but small but quite a bit to go over. So let's jump over to Discord real quick and let's get right on it. All right, so this is the big February update, and it's going to be Valentines themed. And it is update 1.4.29. Alright, let's start on it. This week we are rolling out the first update of February, and you can already feel that love fever is in the air. You will find awesome holiday activities in this update, as well as some of the long-awaited and highly requested features, new items in the shops, and divided 80-level battle groups in the tournaments. There's a lot of controversy. Like I said, it's kind of a juicy update, so... and that's not all. Here's the full list of changes coming to Dragon Champions in the update 1.4.29. Alright, so we're going to have Love Fever, which is just, you know, like they do with the Halloween and they did with the New Year's, right? New Year's? Or maybe it was Christmas. Whatever. But they do these little, which is really neat. Really cool. You know, Galaxy of Heroes doesn't really do it. Strike Force doesn't really do it. Raid kind of does. But, so I really like that about this game. All I want to say is, like, they have little festivities. And that's cool. I mean, that kind of changes it up from not being boring all the time. But, it's Love Fever, and it's a competitive event, a limited time holiday shop with rare items and hero stones, special tournaments, offers, gifts, and lots of fun. So, if you've been in the game, you know what to expect. If you're new to it, it's just whenever there's holidays. You know, this is kind of a new thing. They just started it at Halloween, so this is our third holiday event. But it's pretty much the same thing every time. They didn't say it, but you'll probably get your own holiday currency you get to use during this. I don't know if it's a month or 2 weeks or whatever. And you also, you know, they have special tournaments like they're saying. They might have like a special store that you can buy stuff with that special currency. Just lots of other stuff. So it's pretty cool. And you usually get access to buy shards from rare characters or whatever with that currency. So they made a change to tournaments, I believe. They divided 80 level battle group into different subgroups. Players with lower total hero power will now end up in the same subgroup with players with significantly bigger total hero power. Okay, this has been really controversial. I've been seeing it all over the forums. I've been reading about it. I'm just finding this out. But there are people who will stall their accounts. They will... You know, it sounds like it's more effort than what it is. Don't get me wrong, I don't look down on you for doing this or whatever. It's a strategy. It's in the game. Like, you can do this. There's nothing wrong with it. But people will stall their accounts so that they have better characters before level 80. Sorry. And somehow they'll get like crazy rosters before level 80. And so that's making people underneath 80 who are just casual players with normal rosters as everyone else does at that level, like at 75, are going against technically like level, you know, beyond 80, like veteran rosters against like below level 80, and it's just the way that they had matchmaking going. Long story short, they made it a little bit better, I guess. We'll find out. I wasn't bothered with it because I've been here since day one, so I'm always going up against the best teams, but it was very controversial. We talked about it a lot on XMG's Discord. It was very just like, it was interesting though. XMG had somebody come in and tell us just like his strategies and everything, so I could understand it more. And it's interesting to say the least. I think it's a waste of time, honestly, but I'm not looking down on any of you guys that do it. I just think it was I would just do it. You know, I think the only benefit you got from it was you could do better in tournaments or something. You weren't able to, you know, like when you do your daily activities, you couldn't claim them. So I just feel like, so you're prolonging your progression by a long amount. And so, I mean, I just play the game for fun. I guess tournaments bother people enough to where they do stuff like that. And it definitely needs to change. So that's good to see. And they added new hero stones to the shops. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. I'm really happy about this. Okay, first of all, I want to explain all these characters I think are only in Battlegrounds. I could be wrong. They could be somewhere else. Like, I think a couple of these guys are also on hard nodes, but they're just making these characters that are really hard to farm more farmable, and that's what's needed to happen. They keep stuffing all these premium characters in one place, and they have to, like, take the back end, the older characters, and put them somewhere else. Every game does it. Every hero collector does it, and it has to happen. And this is their first time doing this, so this is really big. I'm really happy. I've been campaigning for this, so this is awesome. But Roxy, she's been removed from Battlegrounds shop and added to the Star shop. So where Hard Orc and Wonder Lula is, I think they're the only two, where after you get shards after a person's 7-star, it goes into currency into that store. So that's where she'll be. Count Delman, he's been someone I've been begging to be put somewhere else, because it's taken me forever. I still don't have him 7-star. They removed him from Battlegrounds shop and added to the tournament shop. There's still a lot of good characters at tournament shops, and you don't get much currency. But that's still a good thing. He's somewhere else. If I want to farm him, I can. Dr. Frank and Xantara, that makes it a little bit easier for free to play, but if you've been playing it for a while, you should already have these guys a long time ago. But they're easier to find. So they're in the tournament shop. But tournament shop's still kind of just as bad as Battleground shop, because you don't get that much currency. Kellerian and Namara, they are added to the arena shop. That's fine because I already have them. But if now that's going to be better for new to play players, because after a certain point you'll have everyone farmed out of that store, and so you're just doing it for that currency, that Star shop currency. I skipped one here. Sergeant Pigwald and Yogi will be added to the guild shop. Once again, that's a good thing because more accessibility, but also after a while you have bought everything at guild shop and now you're just buying gear. So I already have all of these guys, but for new to play players, it's a little bit better. And last, they have Shaolin and Selena added to the tower shop. Once the same thing. After a while, you'll have all those people farmed, and you're just farming them for the currency for your star shop. So that's good. That's just more people to do. I think I have them though again, so it's just kind of better for newer players. Okay, they've also improved the Battlegrounds matchmaking. You will now be matched against more suitable opponents based on your performance throughout the season. So what that's saying is, like, even if you're losing more than you're winning, then you're going to be matched up against more people who have been losing more than winning. It's going to keep track of your winning percentage and stuff. That's probably what it is, your winning percentage, and match you up against a person with the same winning percentage. While also, they would also have to be taking into effect the, your overall hero power too. I don't know. It's a more trickier system than you think. I don't know any games that have figured out matchmaking. Strike Force, they're terrible with their real-time arena. Still, Galaxy of Heroes, terrible matchmaking, terrible, and they don't even work on it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate them constantly working on it. And watch, there's going to be a lot of people coming out, well, this is happening now, and that's happening now. Well, yeah, but they're trying to refine it. They're working on it. And I just see them getting... There's points in the game where I think it starts getting stale, so everyone's bored, and they start complaining about a lot of the stuff. And this game is not perfect, but guys, once again, this game is better than Galaxy of Heroes. It's better than the Strike Force. I play this just as much as I play Raid. Like, this and Raid are my two favorite games, and this being my favorite. I always say just be patient. It's still a newer game. It hasn't been out for 6 years, and I hate Galaxy of Heroes. It's been out for 6 years. They have not tried to work on anything. The sooner they get all this stuff figured out, they can move on to something else, which hopefully they're still working on something else. I'm not saying just focus on this, but at least they're working on matchmaking, because I don't see anyone else working on like the formula of matchmaking, and it's really kind of a big deal, because eventually you just need to get someone that matches right up to you all the time. But in Galaxy of Heroes, I got people 1 million hero power over me almost all the time, and it's bullcrap. And it takes, and then when you have bad matchmaking like that, it makes you want to take all your runes off your characters. You shouldn't have to do that. It makes you scared to level up crappy characters because of your total hero power, because you'll get matched up against someone even harder. So you shouldn't have to manipulate your roster to have to do that. And Strike Force is the only game I play, and Raid, that you don't feel like you in those games you can upgrade whoever you want, and it's not going to affect your gameplay in anywhere else. It just makes you better. But Galaxy of Heroes in this game have that problem with matchmaking where it's like you're scared to even level up certain characters because it may put you up against a harder opponent. And that's kind of what stalling in tournaments is. It's a similar thing with the matchmaking process, and that's why it's constantly changing, and they're just trying to figure out the right thing. And eventually they'll tweak it enough where it'll be perfect. But anyways, enough about that. Let's keep going. The number of camps on your battlegrounds will be determined at your first registration in the season and will remain the same until the season ends. So that's a good thing. So it's not always changing. Like as you go up in hero power, it won't be different than that. You get to go a whole season of the same thing, and by that time you probably will be going up in nodes. So all right, that's fine with me. You can now open times 10 artifact upgrade chests. I didn't know there wasn't one, honestly, but that's a good thing because I open up artifact upgrade chests more than I want artifacts, because it's way more rare, the upgrades, than the actual artifacts themselves. I'm always getting artifacts. I'm running out of room and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them. And upgrades, I don't ever have enough. I probably have like 3 artifacts completely upgraded. Not to 5 stars or whatever, but just up to level 30, is it? I don't have hardly any. And what I'm saying is that's a good upgrade chest to have. I don't know why it wasn't already in there, but all right. Runic tournaments. You can now get legendary runes as a reward. I don't know if legendary runes mean 5-star or a different color, but if it's 5 stars, that's big. I'm just now starting to get a collection of 4 stars, so it's like every time I start to get caught up. Oh, here's another thing, but that's a gotcha game for you. This will happen. They do have to make money, and they are not as greedy as other ones are. I've played mobile games for years. Trust me, I was playing Snake on my little Nokia. You know, I've been here since day one. I was here before internet was even created. You know what I'm saying? AOL, connecting for 30 minutes, and you could only get on past 5 o'clock. I've been there since day one, and these guys are doing what they have to do to make a living, but at the same time, they're giving us what we want, and they're trying to refine what we want. They're just trying to figure it out, and they can't just snap their fingers and do it. So don't give up on them yet, guys. I know that you guys are getting bored and they need to, and I'm telling you guys, they do need to get something out. Where's the Goblin Raid? You guys got to start working on a guild PvP, territory wars, where it's just battlegrounds, but instead of 2 people, it's 2 guilds. It wouldn't be hard. You could use the same skins and everything. Just add a bunch of nodes, add a bunch of territories, and let that guild take on the other guild. Is there going to be problems? Yes, at first. But once you do the same thing, start tweaking things, we've got to get a guild PvP. Get that Goblin Raid out, and I play Quantum, Liz, all you guys, please work on a PvP guild mode. Battlegrounds, it's went through a lot. It started out as a whole nother mode and has formed into this. So it's not going to be perfect at first, but please just give us something else to do. I hate doing just logging in, hitting the raid, and that's it I get to do with my guild mates. Give us something as a guild to, like, it's like in real life standing next to your brother and going into war. That's what it's like, but just like this, like a game setting. So it builds like a family. If you're with a guild for a long time and you guys go through a lot of crazy battles, you form a brothership that's I never thought that would happen. But I've done it with Galaxy of Heroes. I've done it with Strike Force. I've done it with lots of guilds where I grow close to them like a family, and I've never even met them. A lot of them I've never even seen their face before. But that PvP guild stuff will solve your guild problem where people will stay in guilds and quit leaving because they feel bad because they don't want to leave their brothers behind. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing that happens, and it's something that Arnold 101 for Galaxy of Heroes has said it. Like, the reason he's even stays in that game is because of his community, and I know exactly what he means. And that's what's kept me in Galaxy of Heroes. I hate that game. I hate it. I don't like it, but I do it for my brothers, you know what I'm saying? But also I'm a little addicted just to those kind of games, so I say I hate it, but there's other reasons besides my guild mates, but they're like my brothers. And so the same goes with AOK. Like, they let me in, and I just started, they were my first true guild, because before that I I was running my own guild, and it was pretty successful. But as soon as everyone got up to high enough hero power, they would bail for a better place. And I was like, I'm just tired of that. And then AOK invited me. And I was like, man, this is awesome. And then I got better after that too. Anyways, I'm rambling on, but let's get that guild PvP mode going. So yeah, I got on that rant, but we're on runes. So legendary runes. Hopefully they're 5-star. I can't wait. It's about time. They should have been here a long time ago. They redesigned the rune shop. Refreshing now always costs 50 Dray coins. Legendary runes have been added. So you can go in and to the legendary shop or the rune shop, maybe both, I don't know, and buy legendary runes. So if you have enough gold and everything, so that makes them pretty available for free to play too. You'll have to hoard some stuff, but if you're a starter account and you have some really good mods, that'll make the difference. You have slap some 5-stars on a few characters on your best team, and you'll go far. Also, they redesigned the player profile screen. All right, so let's go to the test account and we'll check out the rune shop and the player profile screen. All right, so is this the profile screen, I guess? Yep, player profile. Well, it's not doing anything, so it could be because it's the test account. The rune shop. Let's check that out. There you go. There it is, guys. 5. Let's buy it and let's level it up real quick. The damage. Let's put something on Wukong. 5 stars. That's crazy. So it goes up to 6%. That's not what I thought it was going to be, but it's almost ×2. So yeah, you put a bunch of damage ones on there, you're going to be hitting hard. Well, that makes me want to check it out. We'll go more into it on a stream or something, but so that's a little preview. All right, so that's the rune shop, the player profile screen. I don't know if it was any different, honestly. Okay, so they added level 7 and 8 they added level 7 and 8 abilities to Master Duo, Xantara, Salvador, Thanessa, Rantha, except for leadership ability, Illyria, and Robin Bad. Alright, so let's jump over there real quick and check all these guys out. Okay, I was checking some of these 7 and 8 ability upgrades are just completely missing. So we'll go over the ones that I'll edit it out, and whatever ones we have, we'll cover. So this is Salvador. So yeah, what this does is it increases his physical armor, and for every Pride member, it goes up. And it adds, if Salvador has Steel Shell and Taunt, his speed decreases by 30%. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want him to be slower so that he has Taunt longer. So that sounds bad, but that's actually really, really good. So, the only time you want to put his move Steel Shell on him is when he's taunting, or when he's being focused at least. So that's awesome. That's really cool. I like that. And this is gonna, guys, I'm gear 12 in Pride first. Something tells me in the long run they're gonna be bosses, man. They're getting these little tiny tweaks here and there, and here in a minute you're gonna be like, whoa, 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 what's this? Pride is looking good, man. This is awesome. And then if you go to level 8, he gets even slower. So that is cool, guys. That doesn't sound good, but that's actually awesome. I really like that. So that gets an A for me. That one right there. Alright, so what this one is this is that Steel Shell. And what Steel Shell does is when you put the Steel Shell buff on yourself, it decreases all damage taken by 90%. So almost all damage, but not quite. And you get a 50% chance to get debuff immunity. And what this does at level 7 is just makes it guaranteed you get debuff immunity. So that's, you know, it's just something to add the fuel to the fire, but you're already getting a, 1 out of 2 chance of getting it. So, it's like a C probably for me. What this one does is it deals 400% of physical damage to one enemy, and you just gain your taunt. This is how you taunt with him. He hits you, which isn't bad. It's not a bad move either, just in general. And you gain taunt automatically. And taking it to level 7, it adds some physical damage to it, and it gives you a tenacity increase along with the taunt. That's like a B+. That's, you put this move with the the passive, I believe it was, that I told you. So let's say you hit taunt, so now you're taunting. The next round you hit steel shell. So now you have a steel shell, you have tenacity increase, taunt, and you're going slower. Boom. Like B+, this might even be an A too. The other one was better though. So we'll say A, this is B. Salve, and this is the guy that I plan on taking to Gear 12 first. I need to start working on him on the side. I haven't even looked at him yet, but when I start going Gear 12 hunting, this is the guy I'm going for. I'm gonna put all my the legendary mats, whatever they're called, the newest ones, on my Wukong, and then Salve's next. And before I know it, I'm gonna have a good Pride team. So that's a great one, man. I'm psyched about Salvador. These are great. Okay, so at level 6, what this does is just a physical damage to a single enemy, and you have a chance, a 40% chance to gain a shield, equal of 10% of his health. And going to level 7 is it just adds on to the physical damage. It gives you a better chance of gaining the shield, and you get more shield if you gain it. So that's okay. I mean, you know, these mats, there's not enough of them because they're brand new, and they're kind of hard to get still. So you can't just throw them around. So I would always like use whatever mats you have to characters you want to focus on in one faction. You know what I'm trying to say? Stay in one faction and just pimp them all out before you go just randomly putting them on people. But since I'm focusing on the Pride, I think I'm going to go Wukong and then this. He has some good upgrades on this man. He's like an undercover awesome tank, man. But it's just he works best with Pride, which is slowly, I think, about to be amazing. So anyway, I'm gonna go on about that. I don't want to be here all day. So next up we have Xantara. Alright, so passive. So what this does is she restores 1 turn to a random ability at the start of a turn. And she also restores 1 turn to a random ally's random ability. I don't know, that's kind of confusing, but she's just resetting cooldowns and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. And so +1 ally receives ability cooldown restoration. So she's doing that to more allies, which is actually really big. That one right there is kind of a big deal though. Not the most amazing skill, but if she's taking cooldowns and all that from people, that's pretty good. I like that. Alright, so at level 6, she is dealing she's dealing magic damage to an enemy and restores as much of that health to herself and Mega Will. So she has synergy with Mega Will. She's restoring health after she does this move. And all this is doing is upping the percentage of magic damage it does, which is quite a bit. 80% is a pretty good number. She'll hit a lot harder. Well, I say that, but it's a percentage of her low attack, so. But at least the higher that percentage, the more health she'll be restoring. How that will transfer to, I don't know. I'll give that just a C, probably. This is her actual healing, everyone. What she does is she sacrifices a percentage of her health to heal all allies by 5% of her damage. And she'll gain shield equal to 5% of the maximum health for each living demon in the party. So that's at level 6. So she heals quite a bit. Like when she does this move, she's sacrificing health, but man, she can give it to you. And that's 100% healing. That's huge. And she's getting 2% more shield, so she's getting even more than what she was already getting. I think that's worth it. I would call that a B+. Actually, I would say that's an A. And you go up to this, when you go to level 8, that's crazy. Oh, that's another thing. This is the test build, guys, so anything you see could change. And it's already pretty early, so any of this could change at any moment. So, alright, so 700% healing. That is crazy. I would say A+ on that. That really makes a difference. So, this is her basic ability, and she deals magic damage to an enemy, heals the ally with the lowest health by 100% of the damage dealt. But she doesn't hit hard, that's the problem. So, what level 7 does is it ups the healing and it ups the magic damage done. So it just makes her she'll heal a little bit more. I would call that, I'd say a C probably. Alright, so that's it for Xantara. So let's move on to Rantha. Okay, so it's said in the notes that she doesn't have any on her leadership. So her leadership stays the same. So her old friend move is where It's her passive ability. So what this is doing is it's increasing the stats, and Battle Poo gets those bonus physical and magic armors too. So when he's alive. So that's cool. We'll see how it plays on paper, but it's going to make him tankier, and he doesn't hit hard, but he's a little tanky. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll give it a B. That's pretty good. I like that. This is a really good move, and it just shoots a volley of arrows on people, and it shoots 8 of them, and it just hits them at random. But if you have like one person, all those go right at one person. It's like boom. It's pretty cool. So at level 7, it's adding damage to it. It's needing to. The power creep's happening, so it definitely needs to hit harder. Awesome move, but it's pretty weak nowadays from what we used to have to deal with. And this just reduces the max cooldown by 1. And yeah, you could probably only get it off, especially nowadays. She's pretty weak, so she can't get it off very much. I would spin this stuff somewhere else, but if you want to go all in on orcs, or you're newer and you don't have access to anyone else and you want to spin some mats, this would be okay. I don't think it's the best though. This is the one that just summons Battle Poo, and Battle Poo gets taunt, and Battle Poo gets, well, let's start at 6, what it says. Battle Poo gets 80% of Rantha's health and 50% of her damage. Only one of them can be there, and using the ability again will restore some health to Battle Poo, okay? And so what this does is it's just giving more to Battle Poo's health and healing. So without a complete rework to Rantha, well, she doesn't need a lot, but she just needs a smaller, a better rework to keep her more viable, like where she can survive longer. I wouldn't put any of the stuff on her. If she gets a rework and it's decent, then I would do that. But overall, like with all those together, it's about a C. So that's about all with Rantha. Next we got Thanessa. Thanessa is somebody I do not have, not even close. So this doesn't really do any, like, I don't really care whatever it is, because it's going to be a long time before I get her, unless she just becomes farmable soon. So her passive, she increases her magic damage by 10% for each living goblin in the party. If Amara is on the battlefield, she will get the same buff. And this is adding 5% magic damage. That's a D. D minus. Okay, 5%. I mean, maybe it'll make a crazy amount of difference and I don't realize it, but 5%. Okay, so this one is Assistant. It deals 400% of magic damage to an enemy, and it will inflict 2 stacks of poison for 2 turns. And it also will call all allies to assist. That's just a pretty cool move. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Assistant, it deals 300% of magic damage to an enemy, and it calls 3 random allies to assist. So that's pretty good for a goblin team. Anytime you're assisting, the more assists you get, the more likely you'll win with goblins. Level 7, it ups the magic damage, and it's inflicting 2 stacks of poison for 2 turns. Whoa, that's pretty good. And then on level 8, you get even more magic damage, and you're getting all allies. That's an A. This one right here is a big deal. You just start putting poison out. You get poisons and burns. You put Amara in her, you're getting poisons and burns and assists. And then you level this up with all allies assist. Oh, man. Watch out. She's going to be one of the best goblins with that right there. That's crazy. She can start getting the team rolling. I like that. That's an A for me. Okay, so she heals the targeted ally by 900% of Thanessa's magic damage and applies a debuff immunity for 2 turns. Alright, and so level 7, you get way more healing. You get 200% healing, and you get 100% of health healed above the maximum split, equally between all wounded allies. So I guess what they're saying is if you got full health, and whatever is above that goes to all wounded allies. I'm not sure what that one means. I'm not sure. Sounds cool, though. I don't think you can go wrong with her. So far, she's got some pretty good ones. So at level 6, this one deals 200% of magic damage to an enemy, and it poisons the target for 2 turns. And what this does at level 7 is it adds 50% magic damage, and the poison lasts another turn. So, I mean, you couldn't go wrong, once again, if you're focusing on goblins. And I think with all that, she's probably going to be one of the best goblins in the game. So, you upgrade all that, look out. Especially this one. This is the one I would really upgrade to level 8. Because that's crazy. That's really good. Alright, I think we got a couple more. Master Duo stuff is not on the test server. They're updating it right now. So we won't be able to do Master Duos. But we'll do Illyria and Robin Bad. Alright, hopefully my girl Illyria gets some love. Because I used to like playing with her back when I first started. But she kind of sucks. Alright, so level 6, she increases magic damage by 25% and an additional 5% for each living elf in the party. If Phalia is on the field, she receives the same buff. So she has synergy with Phalia. And so what this one does is it adds 5% magic damage for each living elf in the party. And that might be more than you think. Because if you have all elves in there, that's 20% more damage. And she doesn't hit bad. She's just not a very good character. Her stats aren't very good either, so let's keep looking and see what else we got here. Alright, her third ability. At level 6, she deals 350% magic damage to an enemy, heals the ally with the lowest health by 175% of her magic damage. Upon landing a critical hit, applies 2 stacks of regeneration to the same ally for 2 turns. So yeah, that's pretty good. It hits alright, and then gives healing to the lowest ally, and then puts regeneration to that lowest health ally. And so they're making it on level 7 where it hits a little bit harder, 100% more. You get 75% more healing, and it will apply debuff immunity to the ally with the lowest health for 2 turns. That's a pretty good one. I actually like that. It doesn't hit too hard either. What I mean, not too hard, like it's not too bad. It hits kind of hard. You're giving more healing to that person, and then you're putting debuff immunity on them. Once again, I don't know... Because of the actual character it is, I wouldn't put this on them. But if they got like a little rework that was a little bit where like a stat rework, because when they call these things reworks, it's just like abilities. They don't actually change their stats at all. I've noticed that. I've asked, well, is there a stat change or anything? And it's always no. So when they rework these characters, they're not reworking stats, and they can, put a take a turd and dip it in gold, but it's still a turd. You know what I mean? So they really need to do some like stat reworks on these characters, or they'll always just be bad. And some of them are just, as the power creep gets worse, these characters are just going to die in like 1 hit. And it's getting close to that now. They're not dying in 1 hit, but it's like 3 hits and they're gone. So, that's a good upgrade for the ability. Just she needs more stats, unfortunately. And so this is an okay healing ability. It heals by 350% of her magic damage. And level 7 takes it up more and will remove 1 random debuff from each ally. So that makes it better, but I wouldn't spend time on it until she gets an actual proper rework. So on here, she's dealing a small percentage of magic damage to an enemy, and it inflicts a potency decrease for 3 turns. This ups the magic damage, which it should, but I think that should be a little bit more. And level 8 will gain a shield equal to 50% of damage dealt. So it's making it hit harder, and you'll gain more shield. That's good. That's good, don't get me wrong, but maybe on paper it'll be better. Maybe we'll get on the stream and we'll test all these out, because I'm very interested still to see like how Salvador does. Man, I'm ready. So yeah, we'll do a stream testing all these out. But that's Illyria for you. We have one more Robin Bad. All right, the worst of them all, Pimp Daddy himself, Robin Bad. All right, his passive was he has a 25% chance to counterattack enemies, plus 5% for each living human in the party. His counterattack chance gets better by 5% for each living human in the party. So, I mean, yeah, he'll have a pretty good chance of counterattacking. Can he hit hard, though, is my question. No, he can't, because they don't change his stats. So this gains a crit damage increase and applies it to all enemies for 2 turns. Robin Bad gains a damage increase for 2 turns. All allies recover 20% of their turn meter. And this is a good one, because anytime you can remove more turn meter, the better. And this removes plus 15% more. So no matter how bad they are, if they're hitting you and taking away turn meter, that's always good. So that's a good ability for him. So here on his level 6, he deals 270% of physical damage to 3 enemies. Robin Bad has a 40% chance to gain a crit chance increase for 2 turns. So a small chance. So This makes him hit harder by 55% more, and he has a 60% more chance to get a critical enchant, which I think it makes it guaranteed, but he may have to pass a potency check. I'm not sure about that, but still you get a way more chance of gaining a crit chance increase. But because it's being put on yourself, I don't think you have to pass any kind of check. And this just makes him hit harder even. I mean, this is good, but I just don't think when a percentage of nothing is hardly nothing still. You know what I mean? He hits like a wet noodle, and if they made a stat increase, maybe just by a little bit, make him a glass cannon. You don't have to make him more survivable, but just up his attack a little bit so that all this stuff, he's getting crit chance increases and damage increases and all kinds of stuff, but he can't hit hard. So all these percentages are for nothing. So if they upped his attack just a little bit, then a percentage of more of that would make him hit harder. So I think even with all this, and so on the ability upgrades alone, this is almost an A. But the character sucks. His stats suck. So all of this means nothing whenever he has almost nil stats. So that's Yo Mama for you. And his basic attack. At level 6, it deals 260% of physical damage, and the attack cannot be dodged. A critical hit decreases the target's turn meter by 20%. So once again, he's taking away turn meter on his basic. And so you want him to crit more. That means he will take away more turn meter. So at level 7, the damage increases by a bit, and you get even more. You get 5% more turn meter decrease. So that's a good move. But will he stay alive long enough to even use most of this? No, he won't. So that's Robin Bad. I think that's all of them. So let's go back to the Discord real quick. And so now we have a bunch of them that got new hero models, which I'm always excited to see these. Some look better than others, but it's always fun to go around and look at them. Let's go through these guys real quickly, and in the bottom at the comments, let me know what you guys think. Because sometimes they're kind of bad, but sometimes they're really good too. So, all right, first off, we got Thalanne. All right, so Thalanne, yeah, he looks huge. He's definitely more panda-ish, not so cartoony. So it's okay. Here's my thing: is I kind of liked how all the pandas looked different from each other. Like you could kind of tell the difference in them, but now it's just like they all look the same, and the only way you can tell the difference is because of his necklace or his backpack. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like that. With that being said, like they're making it look not realistic, but more, I don't know, more their art style, or I don't know how to describe this, but they look like badasses now. They don't look cuddly and cute. Now they look like they'll rip your head off. So I'm in the middle. Like I like this, don't get me wrong, but the other ones were cool because they were all unique looking to their own. So I'm kind of in the middle with it. But don't get me wrong, guys. This dude looks badass. Like he looks way cooler. But now they're all just looking the same, like Jawas in Galaxy of Heroes. So you got some salt and pepper to whip your ass with. So all right, well that's Thalanne. He looks all right. I like him. I mean, I give it a B+. But once again, I just kind of like the uniqueness of all of them. Now they all just look the same kind of. All right, next up is Cruel. All right, so Cruel. She looks a little hotter. Just more she looks more realistic. So this is another thing I want to talk about. Galaxy of Heroes. They actually promise us more polygons, more pixels, and if you're like a fan of it, you know what I'm talking about. Like they keep talking about their art department, but they don't go back and change them or make them look better. And I think that it's only been a year, and they're going around and like updating the looks of them. I think that's pretty cool. I gotta give them respect for that. And like I think she looks better. She looks less cartoony, a little more realistic. Once again, more like definition. That's what all these guys are getting, is more definition, and I'm noticing that. And so I like that. She looks a lot better. I like her little hair bun. I don't know if it had that before, but she looks a lot cooler. And a little more realistic and a lot less cartoony. But see, some people like that. I was never turned off by it either. But I think they're kind of trying to go in the middle there. It still looks cartoony, but a little more realistic. And I like that. I love this. I give her an A+. I like her little hair thing going on. And like I said, I didn't really study it before, but that may have been there. But I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, so next up we have Captain Pigwald. Not Captain, but Sergeant, my bad. So we got old Sarge here. Once again, I wasn't too familiar, but it just looks like there's more definition to him. He looks a little more. He definitely looks more genuine or more defined. His face does. He doesn't look so much like the other ones either. And so yeah, it just looks like more pixels, more polygons, which I'm cool with that. Not too much different really though, but I think he just looks more rugged and a little more evil kind of. So yeah, that's Sarge there for you. Let's keep going here. Okay, so they also did Instructor Goram, and I'm just gonna keep saying it. There's more definition, you know. I can tell his face looks a lot different. Not anything too crazy, but just kind of making him look more realistic. That's definitely where I see what they're going for there. So yeah, not a huge change. That's okay though. I will say I kind of like what they're going with the faces and stuff though. That is kind of, I'm okay with that. I think his nose is way larger. I don't remember, but look at that thing. So I definitely think that's one change they had, because I don't remember it winking at me from the menu. Okay, so now we have Mortha. I'm going to be honest. I don't notice much. I'm going to say this every time, but, you know, just making her look a little more realistic. I think that's what they're going for. I can definitely tell the difference in her head. You know, I mean, she looks more human. I know she's an orc, but she looks more human, because that's what they kind of look like. But I'm not against that. That looks fine to me. She looks cool. She doesn't have any eyes and has the horns going, so I'm okay with that. And let's jump over to Patriarch Key, and this will be the last model we'll be looking at here. Alright, the man himself, Patriarch Key. I think it's Chi, actually, but I like to say Key. To be honest, I don't like it better. He has huge shoulders and, like, no neck. He looks like a shaman type guy, like a monk. I get it. And he's just a healer chilling out. Well, now I don't even remember what the other one looked like. I don't ever pay attention. It's been a long time since I even opened up this menu on him, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not like it's sticking out to me like, oh, that's terrible. But I don't know if it's better than the last one. I think it's the shoulders for me. They should have made him look a little smaller. I know he's a panda, but they should like even out his neck length from the shoulders. I know I'm being weird and picky. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's okay. It's okay. It's cool that they're going back and making him more defined. So I'm cool with it. I always liked his little lantern hanging from there. But all right, that's the new hero models. Overall, it's pretty good. I liked most of them. So not bad. I'll give it a B. All right, let's go back to Discord real quick. All right, guys. So this is the big one. This is the one that it's like equal to the buff being nerfed. And I'm sorry, guys. And I'm going to give you my thoughts here in a second. Let's go ahead and read. But Thalanne has been nerfed. Bad. Bad, guys. A lot of people are mad. Some people don't care. I'll get into it, but let's read it real quick. Thalanne's secret leader. Her leadership ability. So what it does is it increases the crit chance of all allied elves by 30%. And it recovers 20%, which used to be 15%, so that's a buff, right? Of their turn meter upon landing a critical hit. And has a 50% chance to restore one turn to a random ally. Okay, that's what it usually is. That's what it always has been, but they upped it 5% for the... Well, that's like, well, she's already broken. Why would you do that? But, right here, can be triggered once per turn. Boom. Rest in peace, Thalanne. Goodbye. The Thalanne meta has been... The fire has been put out, officially. She's no longer meta. She's done. You guys, if you guys are new people about to go all in on her, she's still a great character. Don't get me wrong. She's still going to be one of the best elves. She's still someone you should thrive for and get. But if you after today, if you expect her to be the best, she is no longer. No longer, guys. I think now her and Buff are probably going to battle it out. And the reason that is because before, this would make her just keep throwing her AoE. You just have to go look at her AoE. I don't know the whole entire kit, but it's ability block and mastery, and it's if you get all critical hits, you get to go again. And there's times where you hit him 3 times, the match is done. If she hits you 3 times in a row, which it could before today it could, the match is done. That can no longer be done. You can only do it 1 time. That's what it's pretty much saying. You can only throw it one time per turn. So, is she like horrible now? No. I'm not saying that. She is awesome. She's still going to be one of the top 5 characters in the game. I haven't tested it. I do not know how bad this is going to affect her, but pretty much everyone knows this is going to make it a lot worse. Let me do some testing, and like I said, I'll get on the stream. We'll do some more testing with the other abilities. Have a good time with it. But as of right now, I think she's done with the meta. It's done. Done. So this is a big deal, guys. I know that you all are mad, but here's my thing. I have several points. The point of the guys people that are mad are like, okay, so I've put all my time, all my work into something that is there, that's legal and everything else. I put all my time, and I made a decision because of her kit, blah, 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 or what she can do. And I spent all this time getting her, and now all of a sudden, and this is the same argument about Buff being nerfed. This goes with the same thing. I did all this, I spent money to get him, and then a couple weeks later, well, in this case, like a year later, you nerf it. And they are completely right, guys. You guys are completely right. I completely agree with that. Play Quantum, like, what they're getting at is, like, you can't keep nerfing something way down the line. Like, maybe if it's like a couple days later, then it's fine. But to counteract that, guys, this has been coming on for a long time, and the reason why Play Quantum made a mistake is because it took them so long to do this. And maybe they were just trying to figure out what the best way to do it is, but she is broken. She's broken. And she's always going to be the meta. She's always going to be the leadership. Now, to counteract that, people are saying, well, we'll build a team to counter that or whatever. And I understand what you're saying, but right now, she's the solution to every event, every battle, everything. Like, anytime there's a event that they've created and made up and put in new, the lane lead. Every solution is, well, it's the lane lead. And there's nothing else. That's boring. That's really boring to me. Did they go about the best way of doing it? I don't know. But my personal feeling is, okay, whatever. I'm tired of using Thalanne always. Nothing but Thalanne. I'm tired of going up against nothing but Thalanne in tournaments, in arena, and everything else. And this is just going to put, kind of push her down to where she's not ungodly. And that's okay with me. I don't want her to be ungodly. I do feel for the people who have put all the time into her, but she's been around forever. Everyone has Thalanne. I mean, if you've been around for 6 months, you have Thalanne. So that's another thing. It's just like, it's time to move on. I don't know what we're moving on to, but I'm just glad that this might keep her from just being the solution to everything in this game. You should have to use different things in different places, and that's something I think they're working towards. That's why they're doing reworks, and they're trying to level everything out. And it makes no sense to have her up here and every other character down here. Like, she'll always be the problem, or she'll always be the solution to every fight or everything. So they're just bringing her down. I still think she's up there. Like, she's not going to go irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? She's still going to be one of the best characters in the game. So I definitely feel on both sides. And I just don't care, because my final thought is, I don't care because I'm tired of seeing her. I'm tired of that always being the thing. I'm ready for, and this might diversify things a little bit more. She might still be meta in some solutions, but you're going to have that other team that can beat you even easier. Whatever. So that's my thoughts on that. I know it's very controversial. I feel for everyone on both sides, but I think they're just thinking in the future, and so this is just fixing it, hitting the nail on the head, and just moving on. So we all got to do the same. It's going to be okay. I've seen a lot worse things in other games, and it's going to suck. I know how people feel about Buff. I spent $150 on Buff, but I still wasn't even that mad. I wasn't that mad that they did that. It kind of sucked, but there's a reason for it. And people have forgotten that by now. We've all gotten over it, and we just got to move on. But I completely understand what everyone's saying, so don't get me wrong. Alright, so that's about what I have to say about that. They fixed some bugs. Sergeant Pigwald's third ability, I don't know what was wrong with it, but they fixed that. They fixed Uncle Ho's passive ability that would trigger by any hero's attack and not just Uncle Ho's. Okay, well, that's a good thing to have fixed. That's it on the patch notes, but I saw down here while I was making this that it says also great news. Tool and Ambulance are available for farming with this update. Let's go over to the Discord and see if we can find where that's at, and we can figure that out. Alright, so I came to Tools, little page here. We're going to go to find. Looky there. Awesome! We all thought this would be behind some paywall. Awesome, guys. He's farmable on a node. I'm not done with my other ones yet, but after I am, I can go straight to them. And it's going to make me want to rush through that even faster. So look at that. So Tool will be farmable at Rages of Clans 8.6. So that was just new to me. Right when I read that, that's why I was making this video. Or while I was making this video. That's cool. Alright, let's go over to Ambulance. There it is, Dawn of the Order 8.3. It's going to be harder for newer players to get to. That's how it should be. These are for people who have already farmed everything and they're ready to get to them. So that is great. That is great news. We all thought that it was going to be put behind some shop store or something, or it would take us forever to farm. No, we can farm this whenever we want, however we want. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're doing something that no other hero collectors do, and they're giving free-to-play a chance at the legendaries. That's awesome. Now, I can kind of confirm that the legendary is going to be 7-star unlock, but if you have some Dre coins and you can refresh and stuff, you'll make it. They're taking forever to put these guys out. They've made it to where pretty much some people have already farmed up the other 2 dwarves, the other 2 pigs. This is awesome. Play Quantum, good job. This is the way you should release content, especially like new legendaries and new factions. Galaxy of Heroes, they throw like 8 people at you. Like 3 of them you have to buy, 2 of them you can get free to play, and then they release the event 2 weeks later and say, well, you should have wailed, you gotta wait next time. And you can, if you work your butt off on those factions, by the next time it comes around, you may barely get the legendary, as long as you worked your butt off to get him. So, you know, I applaud Play Quantum to that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I said this a month or 2 ago, like I was proud of them how they were doing it, but some people were like, well, it's probably gonna be behind a paywall. Not yet. Not yet. There may be 1 character, but I applaud them. And I think maybe Bar and Rel were Battle Pass, so maybe that's kind of a paywall. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, the way they've released these guys, I'm proud of them because we're always getting screwed in these other hero collectors. And if you play more than just this like I do, I'm just used to getting screwed, and these guys aren't trying to screw us. They just need to make a little bit of money. So yeah, they're gonna, you know, charge some things, but they're really free to play friendly, and I gotta give them credit for that. Like I said, guys, I know we're all just sitting here still, like, now there's all this winter stuff coming through, and we still got COVID and stuff, and we're saying, like, we need more content, we need more stuff. This little thing here is wrong, like, why aren't you fixing it? Like, you know, we gotta chill, we gotta be patient, man. And eventually, here in a year, next year, we're going to look back and think, wow, there's a lot of stuff to do. But just give them time, guys. I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, man, I'm kind of bored in this. I'm just doing dailies. I'm farming these guys. What else is there to do? I feel you, but be patient. They're listening to you. They understand. And they do a great job. And I can't thank Lizard Breath and all the devs there enough. They're always real nice. Lizard Breath will get on forums that aren't even Dragon Champions and respond to your comment because she wants you to know that they're listening to you. Guys, give them a break. They're sitting there listening to you. They're trying their hardest. Do they do some things that are kind of like iffy? Yeah. You have to do that in a gacha game. That's why they're called gacha games. It's a little like gambling sometimes. But in this casino, they actually want you to be happy, but they got to make a living too. So, cut them some slack. This update's pretty cool. Lots of great matchmaking updates. Lots of cool character models. I loved a lot of the ability upgrades. Thalanne was a negative. I will give that, guys. I'm on your side. Like I don't want to see her get nerfed, but I understand why she was. So don't get upset about that. Just focus on, as you saw, they're going to be farmable when this update goes. So start working on those other guys. That gives you a little something to do. And with that being said, we will do a little stream maybe later today or tomorrow, and we'll try out all these other abilities and some more just messing around. So if you guys are watching this, go join my Discord, and you'll know exactly when I'm going on Twitch. And just come by and talk to me and You know, if you guys got some questions or just want to have a conversation about what I think about things, hit me up on there, guys, all right? So with that being said, I love y'all, and I'm out of here. Peace.